All right, so we're starting lesson 5 here with the taking of Jericho. And just as a quick review, remember we've talked about how important the Exodus was and how at the end of the Exodus the Israelites are entering the Holy Land. And so Jericho then is the first city that they take. So what happens is after their 40 years in the desert, they cross the Jordan River under the leadership of Joshua, and the first city that they conquer is the city of Jericho. And so we're going to consider in this story particularly the fact that with the crossing of the Jordan River and the taking of Jericho, the Israelites come to the end of their exodus. Before we say anything else though, there's some things about this story that are important, and one that I want to comment on just really briefly is you'll notice that what leads the Israelites across the river and in their marching around the city is the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was that special box with the angels on top upon which God's presence would descend and from where he would speak to Moses in the tabernacle. So the Ark of the Covenant was God's presence, represented God's presence, because that's where God would come down and be. And so the Ark of the Covenant was very important to the Israelites. And we're going to see in later lessons exactly why the Ark is important for us as well, because we're going to see that Mary, the mother of God, the mother of Jesus, is the new Ark of the Covenant. So I'm pointing this out now so you remember, and remember that this is significant and why that's significant when we get to that lesson later on. So, as we've been saying, the Exodus is like our life on earth, that Jesus starts a new Exodus that we participate in as his followers, and just as he ascends into heaven, we hope to go to heaven as well. So the Exodus for us ends at death, and we hope then to go to heaven. And so it's good for us in this lesson to look at what we call the last things, that is, the last things that happen to people in life. And so the last things are death and judgment and heaven or hell. And just as the Israelites enter the promised land after death, we have the freedom to enter the promised land as well, but because we're free to choose, we can choose to go to hell instead. And so we're going to consider these things in our catechism in light of this lesson.